Okay, what I have here is a vacuum sealer for mason jars. This is a do-it-yourself vacuum sealer. This is just PVC pipe, 4-inch drain pipe, sewer drain pipe, end cap, adapter, and then the threaded end cap. Picked up this at Lowe's. You know, any hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's, they should have it. I can't remember the price on these pieces. This pipe was free, just happened to have it. I used a air compressor and put a little bit of air in here and dropped it down into a 5-gallon bucket of water to see if it would leak, and it did around here. So I put some PVC cement around this. The threads were leaking, of course, but by using the Teflon tape on the threads, it stopped it, and it's so much easier once the tape's on there. You can just spin the lid on, and it doesn't even have to be on tight for it to work. But anyways, the length of this PVC pipe, I cut it at 6 5/8, and what it allowed me to do is put in a big jar, and it sticks up just a little bit. The end cap is hollow. I didn't want to get it too big because that means I got to pump that much more air out. The shallow one or the pint jar, I can stick in there and still pull it out. I didn't try a half pint, but anyways, it probably would work. I used a rasp, wood rasp. It's kind of coarse on one side, fine on the other. It has a little bit of a curve to it, just so I could file this smooth here. The bigger jar didn't want to fit. Kind of just hung up like that, and then I filed it, made it smooth with the idea of the pipe. Now it works fine. Let's see, this is just a brake bleeder pump. I bought it brand new, hasn't been used for anything but this. I've got another one that I've had for a while that I've used for brakes, but anyway. So just like on the Food Saver type, you just put the lid on here, screw it down to snug, I guess, not even really snug, but, and I did find that if you didn't put the cap on the ring, it won't pull a vacuum out. It needs something to keep it aligned and down on it. So if it doesn't work for you, give it a little bit more tight, or tighten it up a little bit more with that ring, but keep it loose. That makes sense. So this, I made this hole 1/8. That's not important. It was just a try. I'll probably change this thing up a little bit, drill a hole a little bit bigger, but I'll put this in here and pump it down. I'm gonna pause it here because I can't do this with one hand. All right, so it's now down to 10, and so the tip doesn't fall out. I have gotten this down to -20 and couldn't hardly pull the cap off. I had to use something to pry it with. Then I've tried 15 and it was still pretty hard. So now I'm going to try it at 10. So on that dial there, if I can focus it in, it was there at 10. That tip is falling off. Anyway, so get this thing out of here. Do this one hand here. That is on there. That is tight. And that's a vacuum. Anyways, you could use this for other things just than jars. You could probably put your phone in there if you ever dropped it in the water and pull a vacuum on it. Get the moisture out. There you go. Appreciate you watching. Take care. Bye.